But speaking of drama, the big drama is going around the news today and yesterday, and it was started on Monday, but P. Diddy, everybody. A lot of charges up against him. So let's talk about P. Diddy and our feature story of the night. So I gotta say, as a kid that grew up with Puff Daddy, P. Diddy, Diddy now, all of his music, like he was very influential for a long time. He's been popping up in the news so much here on Cruise Control. We talked about what happened with Cassie, with his ex-girlfriend. We showed that footage on the show of him dragging her through the hallway, beating her up, kicking at her. And that's part of the charges against him. Upsetting. First he said nothing happened before with this, and then he apologized for the video afterwards. They got Diddy Queen. I know, but on Monday, September 16th, at an upscale Manhattan hotel, they arrested P. Diddy, or I guess Diddy now. Everyone's telling me to, I still, again, I'm a millennial, I guess. I think about him as P. Diddy still, but he goes by Diddy. So they got Diddy. He's been arrested for sex trafficking, racketeering, which is a big one, and transportation to engage in prostitution. Now, the sex trafficking is going to be massive. They're talking about going after a lot of people. And that's what they said, this is just the beginning of it. Everybody that's involved, as they were discussing it, they were saying they had all these big sex parties, and there's a name for them. They called them, it was something freaking crazy. Freak offs. Yeah, but they call them freak offs though. Freak offs. He had the freak offs. So it was like a bunch of. They're talking about. First of all, they're talking about confiscating lube from his house and like alcohol and AK-40 or AK-27s and stuff. It's like you're talking about guns, but lube. We're talking about lube. But they said they had these parties. They were forcing girls into having sex. Now, the one thing that the defense is saying, there's nothing in there saying that they were against their will 100%. So that's what they're trying to fight. No, the girls aren't against their 100% for these sex parties. They're just sex parties. And they wanted to get Diddy out of jail like right away. And so they went to the judge and said, hey, can we get him out on bail? They wanted to give up his house, which is like $48 million. They wanted to give up like his airplane. And he actually took his time. He came from, when he knew the charges were going to come, he was in Los Angeles. He went to New York and got ready to be arrested. He knew it was going to happen. And so he was preparing for this. And he thought, yes, I can get out on bail. Nope, no, you can't, because the judge came forward. They went to the judge, and the judge said no. Judge Robin Tarnowski said, nope, I will not let him out under the idea that he is a danger to public and especially against the potential witnesses. They're saying that he would cause fear to the potential witnesses from coming forward. And so the judge denied his bail. What about an appeal, though, Mike? Oh, right before we came on show, they did their appeal. The judge said no. They said no. So now he is in jail until the trial, which there's no trial date set for this either. No trial date at all. So he's caught right now in this jail, which they're saying this is like one of the worst jails in Manhattan. A lot of people die in here. There's murders. There's people get beat up constantly. It's like not. It's like where you don't want to be. You do not want to be here at all. And someone like Diddy has never experienced this before, but he was like, again, they're talking about being like an empire, like a freaking like a criminal empire that he was running. And there would be a lot of people coming down that were subordinates for him, getting the prostitutes. Queen of no sex parties, getting the prostitutes, getting again. I don't want to joke about this, but they're reading the stuff out. They're like the lube, making sure there's enough lube in the apartment. I'm like okay, cleaning up after him. Again, all the drugs, everything, they're just saying that these women were trafficked. And again, this comes down to these other cases of ex-girlfriends and all these things leading up that we've talked about on the show, that all these women coming forward saying that he's a slime ball, pretty much, allegedly. And now he's caught in jail, everybody. P. Diddy is not going to get out anytime soon. Even there's like even a $50 million bond, they're like, there's no way. So he's caught until that trial. I guarantee he's probably freaking out. All he said in his actual court, when he went to the court for his hearing, he said, not guilty. That's all he said, kept looking forward and nothing else. And now he is caught in this jail, and he's just be stuck there for a while. And I think that we knew this was happening.
You brought this story up, Brian, but I want to ask you, how do you feel about that?
Yeah, I think from everything that you hear, and this is the thing about me, it's like I like to give people benefit of the doubt. Of course, I do. We're America, you know. You're innocent until proven guilty. But the things you hear, like, of course, I feel like it's gonna be hard to get a jury for this. It's gonna be very hard if you ask me, because all the women that are coming forward, all the evidence that's been thrown in our face for months now. I remember it was like almost a year ago when they first raided his house. You know, they were raiding his house and everything you hear. Everybody's seeing that footage, seeing that damning footage of watching him. And again, he paid like $40,000 to get that pushed away. Like he paid off the hotel so that wouldn't leak, and then it finally did leak, and seeing how brutal he was, and he's saying I was out of my mind, I was drunk, whatever, that was a bad time in my life, but he denied that ever happened. He denied it. He said, I never touched her, no way, I've done nothing wrong. And then you see the footage, you see the fucking footage, and it's like, I'm not trying to go after somebody that's that's talented, that's out there. People will probably say like, oh, well, leave Diddy alone. There's a lot of that stuff. But I'm saying when you see that with your eyes, I think they're going to throw the book at him. And I think it might be deserved in this case. Honestly, I've been talking to friends about this for the past few days, and I'm like, I can't imagine in any world where he gets off. They're saying for life. They're going to keep him in there for life. That's what he's up against now. The rest of his life done in jail, over with. And there's a lot of women coming forward on social media being like, this is a great thing. They're celebrating it. It's like a Harvey Weinstein thing, guys. That's what it feels like to me. It feels like Harvey all over again. And I honestly think that we're not going to see P. Diddy ever again. Could be worse.
Even significantly worse than the horrific crimes that Weinstein is guilty of.
I'm gonna go to you, Mike. I'm gonna go to you fast. People are speaking up, being like, "Well, it's sex parties. He's a celebrity. He's involved in this. It should be fine. It's sex parties." But if you are literally prostituting people out on boats and hotels and stuff like that, and making people have sex with them, this is like Vince McMahon. We talk about Vince McMahon on here, but 10 times fucking worse. If you're doing that like that. Human beings don't deserve that shit, Mike. They don't. So I'm not going to say that I know he's guilty. Again, you are innocent until you're presumed innocent until guilty, found guilty. But it's frustrating, and it's really, it pisses me off. I knew it was going to happen though. But Mike, what do you think? Do you think there's, you hear that people are saying, well, sex parties, leave it alone. Do you think that's any kind of justification? Do you think that's going to try to push to say he's not guilty? That he's a celebrity. This is what he does. He's a crazy sex life.
I'm equally appalled by this, Brian. I hate to see it in the news. I hate to have to talk about it on the show. But and I wonder, Brian, they said they found 1,000 different bottles of lube. And I'm wondering, what is it that 1,000 bottles of lube can get done that
I'm glad you asked.
That 500 bottles of lube can't do? Because it's nothing good if it requires the full 1,000. No. This is a guy, my opinion of this guy has never changed. Let's not talk about him like he's a person that ever had any talent whatsoever. He rose to fame on the music of Led Zeppelin in the 90s. He only ever massively ripped off samples. Nothing wrong with stealing samples, but if you just steal songs whole hog and then just rap over it, and it's mediocre rap too. I don't know anybody He was only biting stuff that other people had already done better. He's never innovated at all. I'm not feeling Diddy, but that's not a crime, right?
Yeah.
What is a crime is mistreating people and having all kinds of guns on your property and drugs. And the thing is, I don't even want to hear about the abuses and the trafficking, just because it's so incredibly horrifying. I think it's terrific that we're going to have an opportunity to hear people's stories. And I'm also thrilled to hear, Brian, I'm just hearing this now, that the judge didn't want to give him bail. Yeah. That's great.
And he tried to appeal.
A hyper wealthy person like that too. But I think, if they want him on racketeering charges, that tells you that the dude is connected. And if he's trafficking too, he's not just connected in the rap world. He's connected in organized crime is what it sounds like. Allegedly.
That's what it sounds like.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
Maybe he can play Two-Face.
If he ever gets out of jail. Yeah. I just can't believe it, Mike. I know. And it's like, you're right. It's like, we don't want to, I hate talking about this. It sucks. It does suck. I hate to hear this, but we've heard this news building up for a long time. And he did sample us. There's also a lot of allegations again out there. Eminem going after him, being like, you killed Biggie. And allegations from Keefe D, who's been serving on trial, saying that he hired me to kill Tupac. And it's like, you hear these things and it's like, you don't know, they're allegations. People might be just trying to blame somebody. I just am interested in this case. I think it's going to be a case of the century. I think we haven't had something this big in a long time. I don't think we have. I think when it gets down to brass tacks, it's going to really shed light, and it might hurt Hollywood. It might hurt the music industry.
It's going to be another one of those kind of an Epstein situation in some ways, because he's so deeply connected with the hyper wealthy and celebrities, people that we don't want to see get any dirt on them. And it's going to be
Yeah.
tough because there's going to be documents, there's going to be witnesses, and there's going to be
got a
other
lot.
people that were in the room that maybe we wanted to like before and we still want to like
You did.
after this. And it's, it's throwing just kind of grease and negativity on everybody.
And Mike, as Racer X said too, he did record a lot of stuff. There's a lot of footage they found from his house of him ordering people around and again, these sex acts. So I don't know. We have to see the
I want
footage.
people that are committing horrendous crimes to video themselves doing these.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
That's
really.
the number
Angela.
one way that's the number one way you're gonna automatically be guilty. I mean, and
Exactly. It makes it
usually
easy in the
it's
courtroom.
admissible in court, right? Depending on, I mean, most of the judges, taking a look at it, obviously both parties during the discovery process, like, I mean,
Are you shocked about this, Angela? Are you shocked about this? Because this has been in the news for a while. We've seen it building up. I mean, do you think that this is something that's been just just waiting to blow up?
I'm not shocked. No, I'm not shocked about any of it because, like, we've talked about this before. Whether music, P. Diddy, in the acting world, producer, you got Weinstein, all that.
Weinstein.
All those, you got the Kevin Spacey, squatter. I mean, it just doesn't, it's just a matter of when people finally, get blown up. And so it's, his time, it's been on, obviously I've heard this stuff. I've heard rumors, stories on and off about this for a while. This wasn't anything new. It was a matter of proof, right? So finally, that happened when that video got leaked because I'm sorry, but a video says everything.
It says everything, right?
Your mouth, it just says everything. You can't escape a video. Sure, you can find defenses or whatever, but especially if you've got audio linked to it, any of that type of stuff, that's going to become damaging. You're going to have to find ways to figure out how to frame the narrative on Diddy's side, right? Like his defense is going to have to figure out what to do. But I mean, it's when you have people coming forward, you got FBI involved, you got everyone involved on the authorities side now, and there's people who are afraid to come down. I'm certain that's, that Cassie, his ex-girlfriend, obviously there must have been a deal done in the
I can
back.
imagine what she went through,
No, I mean, it's awful, but I'm pretty sure there was there's deals that are done on the back end, right? Like she's not talking anymore about anything.
Oh yeah, he paid her off. You know that, right? He paid her off. They were supposed to go to court, and he paid her millions of dollars not to say anything about this, and then it's still leaked. And at that point, he denied it.
Yeah, and it's still leaked because, I mean, again, and remember too, like the state has authority to prosecute over, it doesn't matter what you do or what you want to try and do. If the state wants to come down and finds out, okay, we've got this video now, we have to like legally go after you. That's a whole separate thing. But I mean, it's like good luck even with the best defense attorneys in the freaking planet. Like it's really difficult.
Couldn't even save him for bail.
No, I mean, and $50 million, like that's insane. I mean, I don't even know.
Take my airplane, take my home. Just let me out of jail. They're like, fuck no.
I can go whatever. I mean, yeah. Even then, does he have an escape plan to do something? It's Diddy, and he's got a lot of connections and a lot of people, and you know what I mean. Like this is a bigger pyramid situation than just him. He's definitely in that, but there's so many other people they're going to come falling down. And I'm certain there already been names, obviously.
Racketeering.
Yeah. I mean, if it's an organization, right? So it's global.
Yeah.
And there are people who are probably like, if you do this for us, you know what I mean? Like there's always a trade-off, right? There could be somebody like, if you do this for us, we'll have your back here. We'll try and get you, you know what I mean? People do all kinds of things behind the closed doors. So I wouldn't be surprised with this, but it's really gross. It's disturbing. I'm so sick of hearing and it's never going to stop, but I'm just so sick of all this like abuse with women and these people in high power positions, right? Whether I don't care in what industry they're in, it's just disgusting.
I guess that's the silver lining, Angela, that we're seeing this stuff is coming out. We get a chance to address it. It's good. Maybe people in powerful positions won't be as quick to abuse going forward.
Well, yeah. And I mean, it's just, I guess when you see people like, Puff Daddy, I like to call, his original name or whatever. I mean, it's just, yeah. I mean, when they start falling this, high up the food chain, starts to make other people wonder, like, oh shit, am I going to be next? Because
I guess we're not untouchable.
The answer to that is you are next. Yeah, 100%. Like, it's just a matter of when, but you are next. So if somebody's questioning and sees this video, you are next, friend. You are next.
Yep.
It's just a
They'll
matter
get you.
Yeah.
You can't run from the law, and you can't run from your past. You do shit like that, it's going to come back and fucking get you. It's going to get you.
May
also,
I say something, Brian? Because I feel like you're ramping up into the next thing. Can I say something?
No, I'm not. I'm coming to you next. I just wanted to say that vocal motion pictures. This topic fires me up a lot, so I'm a little bit fucking pissed.
Vocal motion. I know vocal motion. Did vocal motion say something? Vocal motion. Yeah, they've been commenting. They say glad we're talking about this. Thank you for joining us on Cruise Control for the first time. Appreciate you. Jonathan, fair enough. I'm gonna say something else. Thank you. Vocal motion is an incredible small business, a creative business that hires actors where it doesn't matter if you come from an agency or you're independent. They let you be creative in your work. They pay more than fairly. If you're looking for work as a talent, Vocal Motion, check out their website, shoot them an email, send them their reel. It's a great company to work for. I'll say that.
Check it out.
I'm glad they're here.
Check it out. It's great. I appreciate it. Thank you for joining us on Cruise Control. We love new people in the chat. We appreciate you. We love the chat.
And they had to say, go figure people that are in the top 1% are fucking weird and creepy. Yeah, I mean, sure.
It's true.
I mean, there's some accuracy there for 100%.
But
I don't know what that means, but I'll tell you that Kevin and his wife Masha are wonderful.
We got to go to this. So, Jonathan, this is a serious conversation. I know I know we had some conversation. If guys, I know Jonathan was laughing about the Diddler comment we saw for the Batman villain, but Diddler is off the table now. Maybe he's not, because maybe we are talking about Diddler. But I'll tell you this. This whole situation, again, Jonathan, it's a growing problem. It's a growing problem that's happened. It's been hidden for years. We had the Weinstein thing. There's been a lot of people that have gone under the radar. I worked on a Nickelodeon show one time, and there's stuff that happened Nickelodeon that just hasn't gotten out still, and it's fucked up. And I think this is what happens a lot of times, is a lot of stuff gets covered and covered and covered because people just are scared. But this is a situation where you could actually make a big impact. Someone like Diddy has been doing this for a long time. Do you think that this will revolutionize this from ever happening again?
No. What's your story about Nickelodeon?
Can't talk about it. I wish I could.
Same question, but when I push harder, I'll go, why can't you? Seems like
sign a contract.
Real in what?
Yeah, can't talk about it.
Yeah.
So
okay.
It happens. Yep.
Later then we'll get more information. But no, all right, let me be 100% serious for a moment.
Let's just say creepy shit, Jonathan. Let's just
creepy
say
shit.
that. Creepy shit.
Yeah, creepy shit. Yeah.
Shit that shouldn't be happening to people is what that is. Yeah.
I'm going to say some things that, I've been sort of challenged against in the past, and it's okay. I'll be challenged. My thing is this. These people, let's call it people like Puff Daddy, P. Diddy, whatever he's calling himself, whatever. He is in a position of power because of how we as a society and community have treated him. Long before we knew what he was doing wrong. Can anybody, not everybody, but can anybody at least agree with me on that?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay. So
he's in a position of power now, Jonathan, because even though he...
Oh, hold on. Are you on now? Because I'm on back then. If you're on now, I'll come to you when we talk about now. I'm on back then. I'm on yesteryear.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yesteryear. We gave him power and or authority based on his lyrics, his vibe, his music, his whatever. But we were attracted to that. We as society, not everybody, we were attracted to that. Then that same persona that we lifted up, that needed to find new, different, higher ways of being the king or whatever, I'm not saying it's our fault. What I'm saying is the reason that we're only hearing about it now is because nobody who saw it earlier on was willing to speak out, or at least speak out in a way or to the people that could make a difference. I think what's important is that we, not just as an entertainment community, those of us who work in the business, but even the audience. I think it's really, really important that we say it doesn't matter if you're a star, or if you are an electrician, or if you work the parking garage, or if you're a second AD. It doesn't matter. If there are things being said, done, communicated, even put out there, sure, we have free speech, but if there are things being said and or done that are put out there that you feel are not aligned with how you'd want to be treated, and I know I'm going to get so much flack for this, but I think when we buy those tracks, when we download that album, when we go to YouTube and we, watch that video on, what is it, Vimo, whatever.
Yeah.
When we do the Spotify thing, I think what happens is we disagree with it fundamentally, but we support it financially. And it's not until somebody goes through something, that's a poor way of putting it. It's not until someone is found out that we do these news stories. But by that point, it's kind of too late. We're doing this news story, but that's not helping anyone who might hear this and see this and say, you know what? I'm not going to go to that party, or I'm not going to take that shot from this superstar or whatever. And I know I sound silly, but I'm saying to all of you, I think if we could have the kind of judgment together as consumers of art, as a society, his music, some say, is great. But the moment his songs talk about violence or anything like that, I mean, we're already in the middle of cancel culture. That's not a new thing. You don't have to post it all over your social media. Just don't buy it. Don't watch it. Don't dig into that. Because the outcome eventually could and did become what happened. If people never hear the word no, except for maybe from one or two people a year, they're going to think that those individuals that tell them no, that one or two times a year, couldn't possibly be right because everybody else has agreed. I don't know if I'm even making my point the way I want to, but I'm trying to put it in the context of what we've been talking about. And I hope the chat
can say something
can help me with that. But
and also it's just buying. You're buying stuff, Jonathan. People buy stuff all the time from people that are horrible human beings. It happens all the time. But you love them as an artist.
Of course they do. But I guess what I'm saying is, you look at other artists. Like, isn't there a lyric from a song, a rap song, that says, you know what? I don't even remember. It's from Tag Team. It's old school, but remember back in the day when the popular music wasn't about abusing people.
No, it was fun.
You don't remember?
It's tough for me, Jonathan.
Yeah,
I have mixed feelings on this.
Go ahead.
For example, I'm a big NWA fan. I love Eazy-E. I love the music. I'm not even really conflicted about the lyrical content. The lyrical content is problematic. There's massive amounts of misogyny going on there, and I don't feel great about that. But you bring up a good point, which is is this what we're seeing with Diddy? Is this an extension of that kind of representation of violence and kind of
we made him rich. We did, as a society, not individually, but as a society. we're the ones that made him rich. Because if everybody heard him in the beginning and was like, get out of here with that kind of talk, brah, then he wouldn't be where he is. And he wouldn't have had a chance to do those things. I'm not blaming us. I'm just saying we responded to that. And I'm questioning, why is it that we as a society respond in a profitable way to that? And maybe there's a slight, it might not be an overnight, but maybe there's a slight adjustment to that. Because I remember being on a corporate event. Now, I live in Florida, right? I remember being on a corporate event in Northern California where, and I'm not exaggerating, I'm not joking, nor am I making fun, but I'm telling you, this actually is the truth. When we were explaining, our situations, our lives, introducing ourselves to each other, the CEO of this multi-million-dollar company I contracted with said that, if anybody says anything that offends you, go ahead and hold up an X with your hands like this. I'm not making, this is exactly what it was. I thought they were playing a joke on me because I was the only person that had never been on one of those trips or treats before. But after like an hour and a half, I realized, no, this is real. My point is, there are ways to put other people, maybe not even first, but to just consider them. I don't think that's what his music did. And I think we as the society who purchased his music, the consumers, said to him and the people selling it, and the people telling him keep making it, we're the ones that said we love this. I'll stop because I'm probably going too far, but
there's
I'd
also
love to
a
hear
lot of
what you
people
guys
that
think.
worked underneath him. He also made a lot of careers. And a lot of people have flourished because of him. A lot of rappers that just had no opportunity. He made that under Bad Boy Records, and I would say, like Angela, all the going back and forth. They're we got this person featured on this album, this person featured on this. It was never really like him completely. It was all these different artists that made him shine most of the time too.
Yeah.
And that's what he did. He built that empire around him, and that's why his stuff sold. And the sampling, like Mike said too, big deal. And I think catchy beats, you get a lot of people that are very talented around you, you're going to sell records. You're going to sell records. And he had a good eye for finding talent. He did.
He collabed like nobody on other people's tracks and on his tracks, like crazy.
Yeah. I mean, I would say he's like one of the biggest collab artists ever, right? I mean, he's always collabing because he couldn't really, and not that I don't know if he could do it on his own necessarily. I guess it didn't really work that well for him, but his collabs, who he brought up in his, under his wing. Yeah. I mean, that's where he made his money.
Art. Yeah. Which, whether it's music, film, TV, whatever, art. Including commercials, which is my life, my livelihood, and not for nothing, but I've become a not poor man from doing commercial work. I love this industry. I love this industry, but art can propel. It can promote. Right? Art can also think of a P word that moves us backwards. But my point is, if we see something or hear something that we, as the consumer, if we like it and we latch on to it, we're going to, in some way, shape, or form, depending on where we are in our developmental stage, right? We're going to connect to that. There's a song by Celine Dion that literally has the lyrics, "I'm everything I am because you loved me."
Yep. But we should also say something.
That song never hurt anybody, is my point. Okay.
No.
That's what I'm trying to say. That song made that artist millions of dollars, and it was about lifting people up. Now, look, I believe in freedom of speech. I'm just saying, if we as a society say we'll buy a lot of violence and anger, propelling something forward, if what we're going to propel forward is violence, anger,
abuse. I'm not saying that we are to blame as much as, say, P. Diddy or the person doing it. But don't we have a responsibility to think about our purchases and what we support? Don't we have a responsibility? I'm not saying censor it. I'm saying don't we have a responsibility to think about it and then put those messages out there? There it is.
We do, but people will always gravitate to something that sounds good, somebody that's talented. They like something. They're bobbing their head. They're into it. And you know what? And he had a good time. I say he did a great job doing that, making that music that people love. But I think behind closed,
put more positive stuff out there.
But people should have been saying something too, and people didn't say things. Just like it happened with Weinstein, people let things slide. People are scared of this man. That's what they're saying moving forward. And if you're scared of something like this, and it's a work environment that should never be happening, and it was happening constantly. Nobody here likes rap music, and and the problem is though, at the end of the day, this took too long to catch. Maybe these are allegations. They're not set in stone, but I would say this. I think Diddy's got a long way to go to be free. I think he might not.
You don't win by shutting something down. You win by starting something new that aligns with where you want to be and where everybody else feels like they can be. Does that make sense?
Wise words, yeah.
Yeah.
Don't focus on shutting down of bad things, because now you're bringing more attention to those bad things. Yeah. Instead, invest your money, your time, your attention, your psyche into things that lift others up, if that's what you want. Or, you know what? Maybe write something yourself, or do something that lifts. Do something that lifts. If we need more musicals, do that. Maybe, but if we all do that, then we don't have to say, don't you think what P. Diddy did was terrible? Because people will know what that is, or better yet, they'll be like, P. who? And that is victory. Victory is not staying away from P. Diddy, but having P. Diddy fade in to the annals of history where he doesn't matter. He's not relevant anymore. That's how we win.
And he will. Right now, I'm saying he's going to disappear.
We're not there yet, but yeah, I definitely hear what you're saying. Just going to keep getting more publicity, more attention. But that's, I mean, it'd be nice in a, alternate reality for that to be true.
That's not fantasy. It's not fantasy. It could start tonight.
When is negativity going to stop making money, though, is the question.
What's that?
When is negativity going to stop making money?
Never. But that's not what
it keeps growing and growing.
We're not talking about that. That's not the point. I
misunderstood your point.
The point is not negativity. The point is... Brian, sorry. The point is abuse.
We got about 30 seconds left, guys. We got to wrap this up.
I'm done. Go, Brian.
We got to wrap this up. Angela, do you have a quick point to say before we go? I know you're going to say something. We got to wrap this.
Oh, no, I'm good. I was just saying to... I don't know what I was saying, actually. I've lost track at this point.
I agree with you, Jonathan.
Negativity does sell, unfortunately. But yeah, when it comes to high-powered people, everybody wants to buy into it, media outlets, everybody. So it's kind of like if nobody pays attention to it, right? If the media outlets don't pay attention to it, then most people aren't going to hear about it, right? Because that's who's putting it out there for people to, essentially know what's going on.
Everyone says the powers that be, but what about the powers that are me? You only have one vote, but that one vote, I'm not talking about political, but that one decision, one decision,
at that one moment,
that's important.
Can change everything. But P. Diddy, everybody,
lose yourself in the music, the moment. Go ahead.
Yeah. P. Diddy, everybody, is locked up right now, not getting out on bail. This man is suffering, so he's going to be going against some big charges in the court of law. What will happen? We will be covering this case as it moves forward. He's not getting out anytime soon. Bail's not going to happen, and I imagine he's probably really thinking about what he did and how he got there.
Yo, player, if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe and hit the bell to be notified when we are live And if you are able to join our Patreon, please join. Because the Pepestar needs more snickety snacks.
Because I'm hungry.
Holla back. Love y'all.